Greetings and welcome back to my dinner table. Welcome back to Pasta with Pasta. So as you can see, I have a bowl here with some papers in it, and these are the requests I got since the first episode. Most of them came with the last episode when I made the pesto, so thanks to you awesome guys for all the requests. I got requests by High Low, Dark Princess, Murtai, Seb Sørig, Andy Ray Sim and Nighty. So thank you very much guys, I really appreciate how you did this. So I want to get you all a chance to get your request cooked, so I will draw the next pasta for today. So without further ado, let's draw the pasta. So which one will it be? And how about this one? Let's see then what it is. It is Tagliatelle al Salmone by Seb Sørig. Well, it is not the real request that Seb made. His request was spaghetti marinara, which is tomato sauce and seafood. I don't really like seafood, and since I have to eat what I cook, I changed it a little bit. So I said, what about a creamy sauce with salmon, which this is. Tagliatelle al Salmone is those long pasta with a creamy salmon sauce. So this is what we are doing today. Thank you, Seb Sørig, for actually bringing me to this recipe, although it was not your actual request. But we'll think of something else, or you might think of something else which I can cook, which I would eat and you would eat. So I will do the groceries. So I will go to the supermarket, get the ingredients, and I will be right back with you, show you the ingredients and the materials. So, see you later. Back from the supermarket. Right, ingredients. I have some pasta here, tagliatelle. Look, let's put it there. I have some frozen salmon. I brought some mustard, French mustard. Well, there are a few things wrong with France, but mustard is just gorgeous from France. So, if you have a possibility to get French mustard from Dijon, get it. It's delicious and it's great for cooking. Right, I've got some shallots, basically small onions, a clove of garlic, left over from the pesto last week. I have some cream. We'll need some oil for frying the salmon, not olive oil. Olive oil is not for frying, it is more for seasoning and doing other stuff, but not for frying. That's important. We need some tomato paste for the sauce. And in terms of seasoning, we will need salt for the pasta. We will need white pepper or black pepper. White pepper is better for creamy sauce. We will need some normal salt. This is sea salt. Nutmeg. Oregano. Rosemary, some thyme. It's not called thyme, it's thyme. I have learned since last time. And we will need, well, now I've totally forgotten what this is actually called in English. It's basically what you use for cucumbers and fish. We call it dill. So yeah, I will write the English name below the video. So this is what we need today, a little bit more than usual, but I think we can manage. So let's see the materials and then let's get going. And as far as materials go today, as pretty much always, we will need a cutting board and a sharp knife. We will need a frying pan for the sauce. Let's put it here. Tea and tablespoon. We will need a spatula. We will need a sieve for the pasta. A pot with a lid, also for the pasta. And one or two little like bowls to put stuff in, like the cut onions or the cut fish. So this is pretty much everything, so let's get going. Alright, first of all, what we are doing today, I defreezed the salmon. Best way to do that and fastest way is to put the salmon into the sink with a little bit of warm water, not hot water, because it will be very well done afterwards. And yeah, I've done that, and I'm now drying the salmon because it's rather moist. Okay, put that away. And now we want to cut it into small pieces. So, like little cubes, for example, whatever you may prefer. Normally in the frying pan, when we will fry it, it will fall down into smaller pieces anyway, so there's no need to make somewhat fancy figures with the salmon. It will be in shambles afterwards anyway. So nice little cubes like this, and there we go. And next in line is the shallots and the clove of garlic. So first of all, we want to get rid of the garbage that comes with that stuff. So peel the garlic, cut off the ends, same with the shallots, like this. And easiest way to get rid of the outer layers, which you don't want to eat because they taste a little bit wooden, is to do a small little fissure in them with your knife and then just cut around it. So away with that, and same goes with the other shallot. Hey, come on you. Just want to cut you. Hey, this one's a little bit resistant. Resistance is futile. There we go. And like the other one, get rid of the outer layers. Come on you. There we go. Ouch. I'm gonna say there we go, you have to go. Thing. Anyways. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Alright. You go too. Perfect. Now we have the shallots and the clove of garlic, so let's go with the shallots first. There's a little bit of wooden part at the end of these. I think I've got old ones here, for whatever reason. So if you have pieces like this with the shallots, don't be afraid to cut them off and get rid of them, because those also will just taste wooden, and it doesn't make a good addition to the sauce. Right, I made them into halves right now, and now I'll slice those into little slices like these, so you can cut them down like this. And if they aren't small enough for you, you can just do this all the time. Right, a little bit down. Next one. After we've done those unspeakable horrors to the shallots, we will do it to the garlic as well. So again, I will make some slices to afterwards cut it down more easily. And for this dish, the garlic and the shallots are entirely optional. I just like them for their taste. You might have noticed those are a lot of shallots. I took a little bit much, but I really like the taste of them, so it's no problem for me. If you don't like them as much, feel free to leave them be for now, or just use one small one. They give a nice taste if you fry them, and they really add to the dish. So you might want to use it, but if you don't like them, just leave them away. It's not mandatory to use shallots for cooking. In my kitchen it is, but you can do what you want in your kitchen. Right, garlic. All nice. Keep garlic and there we go. And the shallots not in the same bowl, because we will fry the shallots, but we won't fry the garlic, because if you fry garlic, it will taste bitter, and we don't want that. Time to actually get cooking. So, before we start the stove, put a little bit of oil into the pan. Again, not olive oil. This is all made out of this yellow thingy. We call it raps. No idea what it's called in English. I should have looked it up maybe, but oh well. Okay, let's start the stove. I will put it on 7 of 9. Star Trek reference. Which is, yeah, so medium to higher heat, so it can preheat. And we will need the shallots first. So as we wait, I actually forgot to take the mustard and the tomato paste out of the fridge, so I've done that right now because I will need it in the course of making this. And I forgot the cream as well. I'm with myself today apparently. I won't start the water now. I will start it a bit later, because you always want the pasta sauce ready when your pasta is ready. So your pasta doesn't go all mushy. Okay, it's starting to get a little bit of heat now, so we want to start putting the shallots in. There we go. And when you start hearing them cry for their lives, when you start hearing them fry, you can put the heat down a notch, so that you have around medium heat. For now I just want to get the pan to be warm or hot, and afterwards I just want to fry them on a medium level and don't fry them to death. That is especially important for those of you using a gas stove, because those get heated very fast. So again, if you have a gas stove, start on a medium level and go to a lower level. If you have an electric stove like I do, just you have just to wait a little bit. Don't put it on highest heat. It is hard to control. Once you have the heat, it is hard to get rid of it again. And I think it just starts now. Perfect. Yep, I can hear them frying very slowly. I'll leave it up a little bit. There we go. I really like the smell of onions being fried, or shallots in this case. I'm using shallots and not onions because they are not as sharp, as hot and as dominant as actual onions. For creamy sauces, shallots are better. Right, I'll put the heat down to a 6, so about 2/3 of the way. Those of you using a gas stove, put it to half or a little bit less than half heat. And we want to fry them until they get a little bit brown, not entirely brown or even black, just a little bit brown, so we got a little bit taste to them. Right, I will bring you back in once that is done. Leave it on medium heat and keep stirring because you don't want to burn them. As you can see, the shallots actually started being a little bit brown, and this is just enough so they bring their sweetness to the sauce. So now I will add the salmon, and it ferociously screams at us. And we want to fry it until it seems done from all sides. We don't need it to be done inside, because when we add the cream later, it will be cooked in the cream. I will now put down the heat another level, so I'm on a 5 now, about half heat. And the salmon is screaming very loud. Right. It is nearly done from all sides now. You see this little pink bit here, and from the other side it looks, go away shallot. Like this. It looks a little bit lighter. And this is how we want the salmon to be. Right, this looks quite alright. So I'm now adding the tomato paste. I'm putting the heat down another notch. I'm on a 4 now from 9. And I'm adding about a tablespoon, roughly. And I will fry it with the salmon for a bit more, so the salmon actually gets the aroma of the tomato paste. When everything looks something like this, so red, orangey, we can add the cream. So I will get off the lid, there we go, and just add the cream in the pan. And now we can do some reckless seasoning again. So first of all, before we do the actual reckless seasoning, I'm adding about half a tablespoon of the Dijon mustard. And I will put up the heat to a 5 again. So now for the real reckless seasoning. Dill, thyme, oregano. You don't have to use as much herbs as I do. I really like them, that's all. Rosemary. And the nutmeg. Not too much of the nutmeg. That's quite enough. Now we want some white pepper. And we want some salt in there. And we want to see that the levels are not too high up, so I'm down to a 4 again. Don't use too much salt. You can always salt later, and I will taste the sauce later, so I'm not using as much now. So we want to keep it stirring. We want to keep stirring. Self-stirring sauces, that would be great. Anyways, we can start the pasta water now. I have already prepared the pot with the water. I just have to add some salt now. As you know, about a tablespoon of salt for 1.5 liters of water. There we go. Put the lid on it again and on maximum heat until it starts cooking. And you want to keep the sauce going. We want to reduce it to a level that it's a nice creamy sauce, because this is too fluid for my taste. So keep it on a 4, 4.5 maybe, so about medium heat. Keep stirring every now and then. And I'll bring you back in a few minutes once the pasta water is actually cooking. And I will taste the sauce, and then we will see if we have to add some more herbs or if we have to add more salt. The pasta water isn't quite boiling yet. The sauce has about this consistency, but I nearly forgot to add the garlic. So now garlic in there. There we go. So it can give its gorgeous taste to the sauce. And of course keep stirring, and we'll wait until the pasta water actually cooks and we can continue. As you can see, as the water goes from the sauce, as it evaporates, the sauce gets a little bit thicker. That is because we have the cream in there that gives the sauce the thickness, together with the tomato paste. So yeah, this is how we actually want it. And I'm a little bit concerned about the salt levels in there, so I will take a teaspoon from the middle. I will taste a little bit. It's not bad in terms of the salt levels, and of course of the rest. The taste is quite good. Yeah, I think a little bit more salt, not much. For me, be careful with your sauce. Don't make it too salty, because the pasta has some salt as well. And I think I can add another bit of white pepper. There we go. And now I can just leave it cooking until it's finished, which is pretty much until it reached a level of creaminess which I want. Like this, it would already be good for serving, but I like it a little bit thicker. So I will leave it cook a little bit more. Not on the heat level I got it, but on small heat. I've got a 2 now, 2 of 9. So just leave it like that until we can add the pasta and wait for the pasta to be done. Alright, the water is nearly boiling. So away with the lid. The sauce, as you can see, is now very thick and savory, just like I like it. I turned the heat down to nearly 0. And in terms of salt levels and spices, it is quite alright in my opinion. So now I will add the pasta. I didn't weigh it this time. It's about half the package, so around 250 grams, which is alright for this level. This particular pasta, tagliatelle, needs about 6 minutes on the clock, so let's add it and start the timer. And of course, you know the drill, always stir the pasta and put down the heat level to around medium heat. So, nothing to do now for the pasta, let's wait for the pasta to be done so we can put it into the frying pan with the rest. So I will see you in 5.5 minutes. I want to show you a tip or a piece of advice I got from an Italian once. So if your sauce is too thick, you can always add 1 or 2 tablespoons of the pasta water to the sauce. The nice side effect of that is you get a little bit more salt in there, and the proteins from the pasta, which are in solution in the water, will actually make the sauce a little bit thicker, if that is what you want to do. So it's always good to keep a little bit of that. And the pasta is done now, so I will stop the timer, put down the heat to 0, take the pot. Now first of all, let me swipe the camera so you can see my sink. Right, let's keep that here. And now let's get back to the pan. There we go. You take the pasta with the sieve and into the pan it goes. There we go. Nice. And now to actually mix it, because it's always good if you have the sauce and the pasta in one pot. The pasta will... Oh, that wasn't so good now, was it? The pasta will mix better with the sauce, and I will take another spatula, fork, thingamajig to actually make this easier, because the tagliatelle don't want to be mixed as I want them to be mixed, so yeah. There we go. Ah, this looks gorgeous. Can't wait to taste it. There we go. Ah, this looks good. It looks a bit much, but it looks good. Oh well, I can eat dinner from that as well, so perfect. Anyways, let's put that into a what do you call it again? A plate, or onto a plate. I like to use the plates you use for soup as well, or if you got pasta plates, those are perfect for that, of course. And a little bit on top. There we go. Alright. And here you go. Tagliatelle al Salmone, made by me, so my pasta variant of this dish. And I hope you enjoy it. And since Andy asked for it, I will give it a taste. Of course, the first thing I will taste is it is hot, because freshly done now. Right, let's see. Very good. Alright, it is incredibly good. Incidentally, this is one of my favorite pasta sauces, so I know how to do it by heart. And yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, you know the drill. And I certainly hope to see you next time. And oh, before I forget saying that, please leave more requests. We still got 5 to go, but I will happily add more to the bowl of randomness. So if you want to leave any requests, please do so, and I will be happy to cook them once I draw one of these from the bowl. So until next time, yours faithfully, the Pastafarian.